Hello, once again, I'm Doc Rodden, and welcome to Heroes and Droids. This is the Easter egg references and details and all the cool stuff for Boba Fett Episode 6. Let me introduce your host for tonight, the one and only award-winning filmmaker, Christopher G. Moore.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Reminder, this is going to be full of spoilers. So if you haven't watched the episode, watch it and then come back here and we'll tell you all the cool stuff, all the hidden Easter eggs in that temple of Luke. What I'm saying.
I hope they got out fast enough.
I didn't think he'd make it.
Sometimes we bow down to the temple of the SLATTMAN. How you doing?
I'm a temple now?
You're a temple of nerddom.
Oh, well, thanks. That? Yeah, I'll yeah. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Okay. And, Grogu's cute, but you know who's cuter? Podcasting rock star and international cosplay queen, Vanessa. How are you doing?
Good. I got a cute one here.
There you go. At least we know what happened at the end of the episode now. And before we get to the really good stuff, let's get to another piece of good stuff.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that was close.
Can you tell I don't prepare? Comic book artist Chad Hunt. How you doing, sir?
I don't know now. I really don't.
I don't like preparing, and sometimes that's good, and sometimes it's bad, but sometimes it's a good part of bad. Speaking of the good, let's get to the good stuff instead of me acting a fool. We're going to get to all the Easter eggs. I have like 50-something Easter eggs, references, homages, nods, all that good stuff. So I'll try to get through it as fast as possible. They may not be in order of, as the show goes chronologically, but we'll go all around. First of all, when we see the Pikes, when the Pikes show up, they're driving an M68 land speeder, which is the same land speeder as Han Solo and Solo. So we get another one of those speeders that we've seen and previously.
I want to be nice too.
There you go. Also, we get the return of a popular character from Mandalorian, Cobb Vanth, which was first referenced in the Star Wars Aftermath novel. So, which is cool because I when they write his dialogue, it's always amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. Jumping.
That was a big Timothy Olyphant.
Well, I know, and I swear, in this series, he makes me question my sexuality. I'll tell you what.
No.
Whoa, too much information. There was a girl on TikTok who was a lesbian and made her question her sexuality after seeing episode. When we get on, when we see the appearance of a rock moving, when we visit a certain place where Luke is, it's a callback to the Jedi training involving movement of rock. So it's a nice thing how they sort of throw your expectations around. The building of the temple, as you see that, was it burning? It's the same temple that was burned down that we got to see in The Last Jedi. So we get to sort of see the building of this temple that later on we're going to find out is going to go a different way. Let's see. The displays in Din's ship are blue. And if you remember the previous ship that Anakin drove in Phantom Menace, they had red displays, but that's mainly because they were on autopilot. So once you turn them off of autopilot, they're blue. So that's kind of cool that we could get to see the different things in that. We get to see R2's sensor antenna, which is the same antenna that popped up, remember, in Empire Strikes Back. So that's cool. Probably one of the coolest things that if you don't pay attention or you don't get some feelings about, when the camera moves as Din gets out of his ship, R2 is briefly framed inside the bubble.
Nice.
Which is a callback to when Anakin had R2 in his ship in Phantom Menace. So that for those people that are fans of the prequels, it's got to be a nice moment. Dan is made to wait in the same way that Luke is made to wait for Yoda on Dagobah. Luke is wearing his same black outfit from Return of the Jedi, so it's which is kind of weird because we always think that when he becomes more light, his outfits would change because he wears that black outfit to sort of make Darth Vader think that he's turned to the dark side. So, but he's still wearing that same outfit. Let's see. Probably one of the coolest things about this episode is to see how technology has changed a lot since we saw Luke. And the reason behind that is because there's a YouTuber named Shamook who was hired by Lucasfilm because he took their previous Luke and did his little deep fake technology on it and made it look better than what they did. A bunch of CGI artists. So they hired him. It's like, we're going to get him to do it. And damn if it's not probably one of the most amazing things I've seen. And to me it's on the level of like, even though it's not perfect, it's on the level of like Jurassic Park, Matrix, and those moments in technology where you see there you go,
pretty dang close.
That's pretty dang blurry.
That's
pretty dang clear.
Yeah. Look at that. That looks so much like a real person.
Well, and it does change. I've watched this episode several times already because I loved it so much. But a lot of the closer ups look really amazing. Some of the far ups are kind of off, and then sometimes when he says certain things, his teeth and stuff. But for the most part, there's moments where when I was watching it, I got chills because and it made me realize, well, maybe they could do a series involving Luke in the future if they wanted to. So, although the actor playing it this time is not the same as the one that played it previously. So, although he's got the movements down pat. When Luke was telling Grogu about Yoda, the Yoda theme plays.
I heard
and he also repeats the sort of size matter not, a variation of what Yoda said. Here's an outside of Star Wars reference. When he touches Grogu and he says, "Remember," it almost seems like a nod to Star Trek. The Wrath of Khan.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Spock touches him and says, "Remember." So I don't know if that's intentional, but it's so, I don't know. Maybe Filoni's a fan of Star Trek as well. We'll never know. Of course, we get to sort of see the Order 66, the slaughter of the Jedi Temple, and we get to see the clone troopers again from Revenge of the Sith. The dream effect that Grogu has when he's remembering is similar to Anakin's premonition in Revenge of the Sith. So we get sort of a nice sort of call back to that. And, of course, we also get a return of an old friend, Ahsoka. Ahsoka returns and she says, "I'm an old friend of the family," which, says a lot. Let's see. She also says Master Skywalker, which for those people who are a fan of the Clone Wars, I'm sure that brings a few chills. For those people that are a fan of that. Let's see. Although she also says there's no place in the galaxy as safe as here with Luke. Evidently, she doesn't have can't think ahead visually using your force powers because some point is not a safe place. Let's see. And then when Ahsoka leaves, Luke says, "Will I see you again?" Which is actually a callback to Anakin when he says, "Will I ever see you again?" to Mom. So,
oh my God!
And it doesn't even the response kind of mirror like Ahsoka and Shmi?
Yeah, and so I again, that's another one of those things where, especially Filoni, is very he's loving of all iteration of Star Wars, and it's all cyclical, it's all poetry, as George Lucas would say. So
if you have a heart, he's like, "You got a heart? Let me have that. Let me just rip it out of your chest."
Exactly.
And I think this episode just made me realize it kind of makes me excited for the Ahsoka series, seeing that Filoni is over that, because I think he's got one of the best grasp of telling Star Wars stories of anybody, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, we get the moments that made me smile from ear to ear, where Luke's carrying him around like Yoda was in sort of this training montage, teaching him to force jump in the same way that we got to see Yoda doing force jumps later on, that people made fun of, but I thought was awesome in Attack of the Clones. Let's see. Also, we get was it you're trying too hard, don't try, do, which is actually his variation of when Luke says, all right, I'll give it a try, and Yoda says, no, try not, do. So we get how he's sort of taking a lot of Yoda's wisdom and incorporating it, make it seem like his own stuff,
as any good teacher does.
Well, true. We get to see him do flips like he did in Empire Strikes Back, which made me giggle. Let's see. He makes Grogu balance in the same way that we got to see Luke when he was balancing on arm, except this time it's just Grogu balancing, I think, on one foot. So we get to see that, sort of call back to that. Also, there's a part where they go to the tops of the bamboo trees, which is very Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragonish.
Very much.
Also, we get a little bit of the Twin Sunset theme when that happens too, which is very sweet. Let's see. The training remote that we first saw in New Hope, we get to see return of that, which is also has been in other iterations, such as Attack of the Clone, of course, Rise of Skywalker, with Rey. Ahsoka says, so much like your father, which hopefully it means early father and not later father, because of the way he Anakin was a little bit uncertain to train Ahsoka in the same way that Luke is trying to figure stuff out as well. Also, Ahsoka says, trust your instinct, which, if you remember, Qui-Gon Jinn said, don't think, use your instincts in Phantom Menace to Anakin. If you pay, the Jawa Sandcrawler has this skull from the Crate Dragon. If you remember, that was
awesome.
Chapter 9 of the Mandalorian. Also, if you pay attention, the bar is decorated with the ribs of the Crate Dragon.
Oh, I didn't see that.
How they got all those ribs inside that little thing? They must have cut it apart and sewed it back together or something. But it is kind of interesting how everything's, they're all celebrating the death of this huge beast. And probably one of the moments that I see most people talking about, because he's a favorite villain of the animated series, but we get to see the live action version of Cad Bane from Clone Wars, and we got to see him in the Bad Batch as well, and he's pretty badass. Although the one thing that I kind of irritates me now is, like, you have Star Wars, and it's like, well, he's not blue enough, his hat's not white enough, and it's like, come on, he's still a badass villain.
He's had multiple hats.
Yeah.
Well, that
he can
and
have whatever hat he wants.
That, and he's 80-something years old, so maybe the big brim hat was getting too heavy for him or something. I don't know.
I mean, for 80, he's going strong.
He is.
But this character is actually voiced by actor Corey Burton, who voiced him in the animated series. Let's see, and of course, I mean, we had a little bit of the Western tropes at the very beginning of the episode, but you also get majorly in this sort of gunfight that happens between Cad Bane and Cobb Vanth. I mean, which is very appropriate, because if you know about Cad Bane, he's heavily influenced by the good, the bad, and the ugly. A little bit of Lee Van Cleef. So many references, but I mean, everything from just the close-ups to the guns to the eyes, everything is pretty much, even the shaky deputy,
Yeah.
I mean, even in the animated series, he had the toothpick piece of straw sticking out of his mouth a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, and yeah, just how they portrayed him, even the way they made his eyelids and stuff. Cad Bane's eyes kind of closed up, like it's getting squinty, like Clint Eastwood. Let's see. I'll actually, if you pay attention if you go back and listen to the audio when Cobb Vanth gets shot, all the people from the town go over to him. One of them says, "Get a stem," which is the name of the health bar in the Fallen Order video game. So we get a reference from that. Jennifer Beals bar, the Flashdance lady. They're one of the alien characters. Has a nice long wig, but it's the Snivian character, which was known as I forgot the name of it now. Snaggletooth. Yeah, he was one of the original Cantina Bar aliens, but it's aliens called Snivian, and it's based on the famous and rare action figure from Kenner. So it's kind of cool. But then this one's more of a lady character with long hair. I think I have that actually in my Darth Vader figure case.
Yes,
could be worth a lot of money.
I know, the case alone.
I was like, let's see. Towards the end, when Luke has the choice between the armor that the Mandalorian gave to him or the lightsaber, he gives him a choice, which a lot of the Mandalorian pays homage to Lone Wolf and Cub, and that is a specific scene where this little baby is like, "Hey, do you want the ball or do you want the sword?" And so I think it's very, very great that they're continuing that sort of thing of Japanese, the samurai sort of movie that they've paid tribute to. And a lot of the samurai movies, Westerns, have stolen stuff from as well. Of course, we get Yoda's lightsaber, which some people have been a little bit up in arms about because in Darth Vader issue 1, Yoda's lightsaber was destroyed.
The 2017 run. There's a lot of Darth Vader issue 1s.
Well, yeah, sorry, yeah, that which I think I actually have that comic book. I need to go back some of the comic books. So when they started making new comics with the sequels, I started buying a few of those. But there was a special, there was an Age of Rebellion special comic, Trials of Dagobah, where he rebuilds his saber. So I guess maybe that ties in more into that. And of course, there's the part where Grogu and Luke are just sitting there meditating, and Grogu's trying to steal a frog because he's hungry as always. And sort of Luke gets on him, and then Luke raises all these other frogs, which is very similar to where like Luke's like, "I can't do this and can't lift the ship," and then Yoda's like, "Let me show you how it's done." Let's see. We get to, we get another shot of the two suns, but outside the planet. They're flying to Tatooine.
Yes.
So we've gotten to see the moons at night, and look at the suns outside of the planet as well. One thing that I actually noticed, but I didn't see any mentioned anywhere else, the scene where they're talking about preparing to battle the pikes inside Jabba's palace, or what used to be Jabba's palace. When they mention Din, he nods his head from the corner, which is similar to Boba Fett nodding in Return of the Jedi.
Very interesting.
Which now you can see animated GIFs of that all the time. And one thing that's also been mentioned, which George Lucas mentioned, that some of his stories were inspired by Dune, but I felt like there was a lot of Dune imagery in this, even things that connect to the Lynch Dune movie, which also that in the new Dune movie as well. But of course, we get that box of spice, and the way it comes out, it's very Dune-ish. But there's a scene where Din is flying his ship around the Sandcrawler. It's very similar to where they're flying the ships around the spice vehicles, the mining vehicles. Of course, we get a return to the Camtono container, or the famous ice cream maker that became infamous after Empire Strikes Back, when Wilrow Hood was running with his little ice cream container, and then became this character that now at the Star Wars Celebration, there's whole lines of people that dress up as that character running around with the ice cream maker. Now we know it's a container. And we can see that it can contain money or
bombs.
So, who knew? Here's an interesting. When Cobb Vanth comes up on the pikes, there's a shot where he comes in the frame, and you see his hand near his gun, which is actually similar to the scene that was originally cut from the original New Hope, but was added to the special edition when Han Solo meets up with Jabba near his ship. So that wonky scene where he walks on the tail of Jabba, but when the beginning of that scene, he comes into frame with his hand near his gun in the same fashion. So again, it's always interesting, these little references that Filoni throws into his films, or the projects. I'm sorry. Also, there's a part where Cobb Vanth says that he's the marshal, and he points to his little belt buckle, and he's like, "These straps indicate I'm the marshal of said territory." And those are the same stripes that are on the Rebel badge that was given to Cara Dune in The Mandalorian. So evidently, I guess those stripes mention that you are some kind of higher up.
We don't talk about Cara, no.
No.
Wow. We got Kanto mashup. Wow.
How long have you been holding on to that one?
She's been waiting.
That was fresh. You set that up for me so good.
Working on those improv skills, I see. Let's see. The deputy that gets shot, the Cobb Vanth deputy, he's actually JJ Dashnow, which is actually he's been Tamara's stunt double throughout some of the book of Boba Fett. So it's always fun how they hire some of the stunt doubles as characters or aliens in some of these series. Let's see. Of course, the bomb part, it seems almost like a little nod to the Untouchables. The scene where they drop off the thing, and then the kid's like, "Is this yours?" and it explodes. Also, if you pay attention, when we get the explosion in the bar, it's a downward wipe to the finished Jedi Temple, and which sort of foretells what's going to happen later on with that exploding and catching on fire. So they're even using the wipes in nefarious ways in this episode.
Nefarious.
And if you pay attention to the production art, the scene where Ahsoka shows up, in the production art, Din actually tries to shoot at her, and she uses force powers to redirect the laser blast in the other direction. But I guess they decided not to go that route. Also, when Luke presents the Yoda lightsaber, it's in a small wooden box, in the same way that we find Luke's saber in a wooden box in Maz Kanata's basement.
Nice.
Yeah, Force Awakens. Now, here's a weird deep cut that I got off of somebody's video on TikTok, because I go all over the place trying to find these Easter eggs for you guys. More time than I probably should be spending during a few days. But if you pay attention to the flashback when the clone troopers are coming through, if you look to the right and as to the left, there is a symbol, a crest, that was used by a character named Barriss Offee, a member of the Jedi Order. The symbol was featured in her quarters in the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. It was emblazoned on the room's door and carpet. Now, I think by this time
she's in jail.
She's in jail, but
a jail that clone troopers would mow her down for being a Force user.
True, but then some people said that they could offer some kind of thing where she
redemption
could
arc.
I don't know. But anyway, I think to me, it's very odd that there would be that symbol on the wall.
I'm pretty
during
sure
a flashback by somebody like Filoni.
Yeah,
So
it's there for a reason, right?
I don't know. I mean, maybe, I don't know. It just seems like somebody Filoni would, I don't know. It may not mean anything. Maybe it's just that specific hallway is the hallway with her crest. But there's been a few people that have said that maybe her imprisonment may involve her being in a thing where she could help them out or something. I don't know. But I don't know. It may not be anything, but I thought it was very interesting because I went back and said, oh, it is. I did see that because I went back and looked at that. It's like it's there. Although somebody also on TikTok said that the scene where Din's ship comes down, there's something hidden partly in the water, and I was like, that's Luke's skycraft. That's his ship, and I was like, that's not the same place as his ship.
Yeah.
In Last Jedi. So in Last Jedi. Also, when Luke is running around with Grogu in his backpack, there's a part where he jumps off of a creature. Yeah, that creature's a scruffy nerf. So it's a nerf.
Okay.
That's the nerf that the nerf
That's the
nerf.
nerf that they always make a reference to, and it's kind of scruffy. So again, we actually get to see the literal version of that ties into the scruffy nerf herder. Let's see. Also, they mentioned that I forgot the name of the town, but they now call it Freetown, which actually that's the name of it that was called the first appearance of Cobb Vanth in the Star Wars book Aftermath by Chuck Wendig. So
Moss Pelga, isn't that what it's called?
I think that's it. Also, I've paid attention to this more, but after we finding out that Jawa's a furry, most of the time they're wearing gloves. They don't seem to be wearing gloves anymore. And you watch that scene where they're on top of the sandcrawler.
Yeah, I noticed
their
that.
hands are almost like monkey hands. It's very creepy.
Monkey hands.
Like put some gloves back on. I want to say this because there's all been all over that Pelimoto. And my final Easter egg. I guess this is around 60 Easter eggs. There's one character that was not inside the bar when it exploded, and that is Max Rebo. So once again, he's escaped some kind of explosion. Evidently, he has some kind of psychic powers, and he runs out of there on his not his hands, because he doesn't have hands. He plays with his feet, because Max Rebo just has 2 feet. So he plays his music. I'm not going to say, well, he's going to play his music.
Easy, Christopher, easy.
I know. I really want to call it what George Lucas calls it, but it sounds dirty. He plays his music with his feet. There you go. See, that's his feet.
Oh, jizz, you mean?
Yes, he plays jizz. I'm talking about the music, because we can't call it jazz in space. We have to call it jizz in
Smooth
space.
jizz.
Oh God, that sounds like a bad porno.
You just call it Jace.
But anyway, yeah, that's a seat that he's on. He's not. Some people thought his body was hidden behind the piano, but no, he's playing with his feet. Little blue snuffleupagus.
Tootsies.
Yeah, but anyway, that's 60 or so Easter eggs. If you guys have anything to add.
Did we mention the ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the what did I call that? Yeah, that's the thing.
I missed my cue.
The training remote that was in New Hope, Attack of the Clones, and Rise of Skywalker.
I missed my cue.
And
the
younglings were using
the younglings.
The younglings were using it in Attack of the Clones. Yeah, but yeah, that also. This isn't an Easter egg, but I think that's the first appearance of those ant robots, which I thought were really cool.
I did too.
Especially how R2 is like the queen of that hive.
He will all listen to me.
Yeah, I want to see more of those robots. I want to see somebody make those robots if that's
possible. Man, you mean like real?
We're not far off.
Yeah, with the dog robots. They were in Star Wars too.
Well, yeah, we got those in a previous episode.
Yeah, they were walking around the Mos
I love it.
Espa, right?
How's that?
Yeah.
Or was it
Mos
Espa or Isley? Mos Eisley?
Isley.
Okay.
So anyway, that's all my 60 or so Easter eggs. You know.
As you did good. You did 2 a minute.
Yeah, nice work. Nice work.
We're at 30 minutes. So thank you so much, Christopher, for your hard and diligent work. Very thorough. Love it. If you enjoy this, please let us know. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share with a friend. Make sure you leave some comments down below. Anything we missed or anything that we brought to your attention that you really like, let us know. And look for our review of episode 6 shortly.
Exactly.
All right, let's say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.